Hello my friends, welcome to Bookla's channel. In today's video I want to share you one interesting case from our client. They are providing audio studio rental services for their customers, where a customer can select one or more hours and rent the studio. I have prepared an image that shows how this business works. So first of all, the working hours are from Tuesday till Sunday from 12 p.m. till 6 a.m. and the pricing is quite interesting. So first of all, during the day hours, they charge $50 for the first hour and $45 for each next hour. So for example, if you book during the day hours like 4 hours, so the first hour will cost you $50 and the next 3 hours will cost you $45 each. And during the night hours from 10 p.m. till 6 a.m., they are charging $70 for the first hour, and each next hour would cost you $60. And basically, if you have booked, for example, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours that are between day hours and night hours, so the system should calculate the pricing according to the hours. So in this video, I will show you how to create a similar system in Bookla. It's quite easy. Let's get started. Okay. I'm in Bookla, and if you don't have an account in Bookla, just create a new one, and after the registration you will be able to create a new company. So right here we have an empty company without any services, resources, and we're gonna create everything during this tutorial. So first of all, we need to create the resource. Basically, the resource is something that we're gonna rent. In our case, it's a studio. Just click Add new resource, call it studio, click create, and we have our studio created. Now we need to add the working hours. As we remember, the working hours for our studio are from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, from 12 until 6. So basically from 12 p.m. till 6 a.m. Priority applied to specific services, so basically no other parameters are needed because all days that the studio is working basically are the same. Click create, and now we have working hours created. Now let's create our service. Go to services, click new service, and let's call it studio rental. Click next. For this service, we need the flexible service type. Basically, the flexible means that the user will be able to select the duration. For example, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, or more. Click next. Booking interval is 1 hour. Basically, just how the available times will be displayed, like every hour or every half an hour, so it depends on the duration of your service. And booking policy for this tutorial, we'll use instant booking without any payments, but we have other tutorials where you can check how to enable payments, for example through Stripe, to accept payments from customers when they do bookings. Now click create, and we have our service created. Now we need to link it with our studio resource, basically to understand that this service is provided by particular resource. In different use cases, you can connect, for example, one service to multiple resources. For example, if you have, I don't know, like multiple studios within one building, but basically this is the studio rental service, you can just connect multiple resources like studios to studio rental service. Just link it. So we have one resource, it's quite easy, click link. And now let's go to the most interesting part of this video. It's the pricing model of our business. Now let's click pricing. First thing, we need to select the currency, and in our case will be the US dollars. And the tax rate, let's keep empty for the tutorial, just for the simplicity. And let's create our first price rule. For example, let's imagine we want to sell every hour for the fixed $50, and we don't have any like flexible rules according to how many hours you selected. Just click add price rule. For the duration, let's select 1 hour, and we don't need anything else, just the price. $50. We don't have minimum duration, we don't have maximum duration, we don't have any limits, and just click create. And here by default every hour will cost you $50. And let's check that it's true. Here we have a preview button where you can preview your schedule and the pricing. So just get the available times with the price according to the duration that you selected. So by default it's one duration, but you can change to any duration here. Click the select date and let's select tomorrow date. And we see that all the hours basically cost $50. And if we select, for example, 2 hours, and now our booking will cost $100 for 2 hours. Okay, it works fine. But as remember, we have quite flexible price rules. For example, the first hour can cost you $50 or $70, and each next hour can cost you like $45 or $60 according to the hours of the day. And to make it possible, let's add multiple pricing rules that will cover all these cases. So we don't need this one because it's just an example of default price. We can just edit it. And the first thing that we need to cover when a person is booking 1 hour or more, the first hour should be handled as the most expensive hour. And let's create the price rule for the day hours. So $50 will be for the first hour. So we have a duration of 1 hour, and also we need to select the max duration. Basically, this hour will be calculated only once for the first hour, and it should not, this price should not take place for other hours that are above this first hour. And we also need to limit it to the day hours. And let's select 12 here and until 10 p.m. And the priority, we need to set the higher priority for this rule. For example, we can keep it 5 or higher. So basically this rule should be higher than the rule that will handle every next hour, because this rule should cover the first hour, and according to the price calculation, the higher is the priority, it means that this price rule will affect the final price. If the priority is lower and multiple rules are matched, so the rule with the highest priority will affect the price. Okay, let's update it, and now we have the price rule, the first hour for our day hours. Now let's create another rule that will handle basically each next hour for day hours. Let's keep here 1 hour, don't need anything else, and minimum duration right here should be 2 hours. It means that this price, in our case it will be 45, basically $45 for every hour here will take effect only when the selected duration is 2 hours or more. If 1 hour, so this price rule will not take effect to the final price. And the compared price, for example, we can put $50 here because this is like the original price, like for hour, and this is our special price. So for example, during the time selection, we can just cross out and show the discount of the price if you basically booking more than 1 hour. And the priority here, it's basically should be lower than the priority of the previous rule, and in our case it can be 1. And for hours we should keep it the same as for the previous rule. So it's it's from 12 till 10. And we don't have anything else, any other limits here. Just click create. And basically right now we see that during the day hours, these rules are taking effect. So the first is for the first hour, where it's with a higher priority, and the next one will be for every next hour above the first hour. And now let's create the similar rules, but for night hours. Click add price rule, the duration will be 1 hour, then the maximum duration will be 1 hour, and the price will be 70. Compared price, nothing here. And for the hours, we need to enter from 10 till 6. And priority will be also 5. And this rule will handle the first night hour. Click create. And now let's add one more price rule that will handle every next hour for the night hours. So minimum duration will be 2. So the price will be 60. Compared will be 70. Priority, yeah, it can be 1 in this case. And the hours 22 till 6. And create. Now we have all the rules set up that are handling all the cases. Day hours, first hour, day hours, each next hour. First hour for the night hours, and each next hour for the night hours. All right, now let's check if everything works correctly. Click preview. By default, it's 1 hour. Let's select, for example, tomorrow. And we see that during the night hours, it's $70. During the day hours, it's $50. Correct. What if we select 2 hours? All right. Now, when we select 2 hours, during the night hours, the price is $130 because we have $70 for the first hour and $60 for the next hour. And right here, for example, during the day hours, we have first hour for 50 and the next hour is 45, and the total price is 95. And for example, the most interesting case here is basically between day hours and night hours. When we book, for example, at 9 p.m., so from 9 till 10 it's a day hour, and from 10 till 11 it's night hour. And we see that yes, the price is 110. So basically the $50 is for the first day hour, and the $60 is calculated as each next hour for the night hours, and in total it's 110. So basically everything is calculated correctly. So we can just select, for example, 4 hours here, and we see that also the price is calculated correctly. For example, it would cost you 280, but with a discount it's 250. So yeah, basically these price rules are working perfectly. Now let's check in our booking component that everything works correctly and the same pricing is shown and the same availability is shown. So let's go to the booking component setup. So we have in Bookla a few options that you can use for your website. So let's go to Bookla website and just scroll a little bit down, and here are 3 options that you can use to implement your basically booking component to your website. So we have a plugin for Framer, where you can just drag and drop the booking component, set it up, and start using in your website. A similar thing in Webflow, and we also have a standalone component that you can set up and just put to your website as a custom HTML with JavaScript. And for this tutorial, let's just check out the standalone component. And on our documentation page, we have a nice setup like a app where you can define all the styling of the component and also enter the API key, company ID, and service ID to make this component work for your particular service. To get the API key, we need to go to Bookla platform, back, and go to the developer section. And here just click create the API key. And let's call it studio key. And we need to select the last 3 client permissions, because we don't want our API key to be exposed and somebody can, for example, delete your services or create more services, more companies, whatever. So these permissions only allows our component to be used for our clients that can just check the availability and make a booking. Click create, and here is the API key. Just copy that, go to the component page, put it to API key field. Now we need to get the company ID and service ID. Go back to Bookla. Here is our company. Here is the ID. Just copy that, go back, enter the company ID, and the same for service. Go to services. Here is our service, and on the top we see the ID of this service. Just copy that, go back and put it here. All right, we see that our booking component is ready. And basically it's already loaded our resource, the studio. And as we have only one resource, we can go to the config, resource, and for example, remove resource selector. And basically we see that everything works. Let's just click through different dates. Yeah, let's select, click continue. Yeah, basically here your customer can enter first name, last name, and email and make a booking. And basically from this page you can export the code for your component by clicking export code, and you can just select this code and copy that and put it somewhere else. For example, just to show that it works, let's open, for example, W3 Schools website, and all right, accept, and we have this HTML example and try it yourself page. And for example here we can just put our code and run it. And as we see, everything is loading, and basically we have all the information about our component here. You see, in Bookla you can create a really powerful pricing rules that can fit any situations in your business. And now, for example, if you want to accept payments for your bookings, you can check out this video where I explain how you can connect Stripe to Bookla. So, thank you for watching and see you on the next one. Bye bye.